Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry, 24/7 shopping available. 160920 is the code. Show her some love, like she showed us. K&A Custom Crafts on Facebook.
Hello and welcome to Saturday morning Coast to Coast Entertainment Network Movie Hour. Today, Randy cannot join us tonight, or Dragon Viper, as you guys know him. He's got some things going on, so we wish him the best and hope you're back soon, Randy. So I will be hosting Big B, as you guys all know me. I'm also joined by Mr. Chris P. Bacon.
Mm-hmm.
I love the name. I'm glad we talked you into using that.
Yeah.
And I guess on sunny days you might become extra crispy bacon. So
that sounds like a good title. I'm doing good. How's everybody doing today?
So typically movie night, we start off. We will typically talk about two actors, but today we're going to do a little bit differently. Because we've had a significant game on Thursday night in Iowa. First major league game to be played in Iowa between the White Sox and the Yankees. So we're going to break down some of our favorite baseball movies, including Field of Dreams, I hope. And then probably the second half of the hour, we are going to break down because the NFL season's starting up, we're going to break down some football movies. So, and I was just talking to Chris after, we might talk about Kevin Costner because he's in kind of both movies genres.
Yeah.
So Chris, when it comes to, first off, when it comes to the Thursday game, did you watch?
I didn't see all the game, but I did see the beginning where, they're kind of, I guess, remaking the movie scene. Everybody's coming out of the cornfield, and they put it together really well. They had the music from the movie playing, and Kevin Costner came out. It was just really good, the beginning part of it, and then at the end, the game-winning catch or out or something like that. They talked to one of the player that did that, and he's like, "I never seen the movie. I have to start watching it." So I thought that was an interesting.
Yeah, when I saw the highlights, I was at work. I caught a little bit of the game here and there, but I actually just finished watching the highlights on YouTube to get the full feel. But the opening from Costner coming out, and like I was talking to you behind the scenes, when the players actually started coming out of the cornfields, it was actually like they were just there. You didn't see them until they made that first step out there. So that was kind of like, oh my God, like a movie effect, like it actually in the movie. So it was a great setup. I liked it. The home runs were flying out of that ballpark, especially in right field. It seemed like anybody that, I probably could have hit one out, it seemed like. But the game-winning home run in the bottom of the ninth, like you said, the player has not seen the movie. Hopefully he has seen it. So with that being said, Chris, what are some of your top 5 movies? And I'm guessing our lists are going to be the same because I feel that the sports genre movies, there's only a handful of them that come to mind, unlike action and drama and stuff. So what are your top 5 movies, baseball related? You're on mute there, Chris.
Sorry about that.
All right. No,
it's like you said, there's only a handful of movies, but I would probably have to pick The Sandlot, Moneyball, and maybe Field of Dreams.
Okay.
It's kind of a hard list to think about,
Yeah.
So many good movies.
There's so many. I mean, you named out 3 classics. Major League's up there. I think that's right there is probably the top 4 on everybody's list. I mean, I could be missing one. But I mean, you got to also have, you had the rookie out there with the teacher who became his team challenged him
Hmm.
to be a pitcher. He went to a tryouts. They called him, and then the rest is history. I don't want to blow the movie for anybody that hasn't seen it. Probably like Randy Cox. We found out that he hasn't seen a lot of these movies. Actually, the Major League Series, Major League 2 and 3, back to the minors, I thought were pretty good. Typically I think that sequels are kind of duh, but
Yeah, most of them are.
yeah, Rookie of the Year, where the Cubs fan has what is the arm injury, and then he's able to just blow fastballs by everybody. I think the iconic scene in that is where he throws the guy out at home plate from the outfield, which is amazing.
Right.
Of course, Sandlot. There's a classic right there. That actually brings me back to my childhood because, yeah, we'd get a bunch of kids together, go to the local ballpark, and just play for hours. I mean, we had more than one baseball, so if we hit a home run, we try to get it. If not, we just grabbed a different baseball.
Free
Randy also,
baseball.
yeah, and then Randy puts up there Angels in the outfield too.
Yeah.
Another classic one. I mean, Angels finally did something back then. And,
Oh.
so, and then you had Little Big League where the owner of the Twins passed away and his grandson takes over the team. So, and then they get beat by the Seattle Mariners. So Seattle finally did something in baseball that they haven't done before. Shout out to Tim there. I'm trying to think of other baseball movies that come up. Bad News Bears. There's another.
Bears, yeah.
Yeah, there's another classic series. I think they made 3 originals and then they made a remake with Billy Bob Thornton, which I don't know.
Again, remakes aren't that awesome.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't go too far off script. Though the one thing that I don't know is the kid in the wheelchair, and I don't want to make fun of him, and but I mean, we see a lot of kids with disabilities in sports playing, and more power to them. Good luck if you do decide to do that. You shouldn't shy away from that. If that's your dream, go for it.
That
was the only thing that was a stretch from the original ones. God, I know I miss it. Trouble with the Curve with Justin Timberlake and God, I can't think of his name. I can picture him.
Well,
yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say I think it was Major League, but I can't think of his name. But he was a star of 2.5 Men.
His name's Rick Bond in Major League. Oh God,
I can't think of his name.
Yeah, I can't think of his name too. And somebody will say it. Randy's also coming out with bench warmers. But anyways, with your pitcher, God dang it, what is his name? So anyways, what were you going to get
look
at?
it up. I'll look it up.
Yeah. I mean, Major League was actually funny. They bring in a bunch of players. The owner's wife is trying to move the team to Miami, I think, and wants to finish last. The team finds out, and they all come together and pretty much try to stick it to her, and they do. The last game of the season, they bring in Pedro Serrano, who's a voodoo guy. They bring in Robert Dorn, who's the money guy. He makes all the money. Broke down catcher, wild thing Rick Bond, Charlie Sheen.
Yeah, I was thinking that. Yeah.
Then you got Bob. Then you got Bob Uecker up in the booth. Calling. He's got classic lines.
Yeah.
Classic lines that we can't even say right now. If this was Four Bros Radio, we'd probably be running off classic lines like nobody's business.
I mean, there's one we could, like, just a bit outside.
Yeah, just a bit outside, and
yeah.
And then the coach had one against Willie Hayes. He was in the batting cage, and he's like, yeah, you may run like Maze, but you hit like in the TV version. I actually like that line because it says he hits like his sister. You know, where in the movie unedited they use some,
Mhm.
I mean, like,
Profanity and
yeah, exactly.
bad
So,
language.
so yeah, definitely Wesley Snipes. You're right. Yep, that was the center fielder in the first one. In the second one, it was somebody else because Wesley Snipes was filming a different movie at the time. I think The Fan. The Fan is another baseball movie about the Giants. More of a not more of a sports movie, more of a drama sports, I guess. You know,
Mhm.
The Fan is, if you haven't seen it, I would check that out. It's the Giants going through some or Wesley Snipes' character kid gets kidnapped by a fan, and they try to track him down, and it got like a psycho fan, I guess, or a stalker fan.
Hmm.
Pretty good movie. So, but let's see, Sandlot. I mean, we talked about that. To me, that's my childhood right there. I get my buddies together. We go to a local ballpark. It didn't matter if we had 5 guys, 10 guys, 200 guys. We played hours, and I know if my friend Andy would jump on,
Mhm.
even Tim Hendricks. I mean, when I was growing up with him up in Michigan, we go out every once in a while, play the ball, but we spend hours at the ballpark. You know, what about you, Chris? I mean, you got any
Oh,
childhood memories that kind of tie into some of these movies? I mean,
not many. I know Sandlot, like you
okay,
said, was very, very popular.
yeah,
Even Field of Dreams.
yeah, yeah. I was gonna break that one down here. Yeah, Omar Epps played Major League Two as Willie Mays Hayes. Yes, he did. He did a fine job in there. But I mean, Field of Dreams. I mean, have you seen the movie or do you
I've seen
recall?
a little bit. I haven't
Okay,
like sat down, but I've seen little
yeah.
pieces here and there. But
I mean, great movie. I mean, I think it'd be funny. You wake up and you're hearing these voices. I mean, we all hear some kind of voices, but to make
I've seen.
you hear them over and over again, and you go out and mow down your crop, build a baseball
Yeah.
field. You're the laughing stock of the laughing, yes, talk of the town. Then you
Hmm.
have to drive from Cleveland to Boston to go meet somebody and try to convince him to come back, and and then it ends not blowing the ending to anybody, but hopefully not. I mean, unless you're Tim Anderson from the White Sox who hasn't seen it. He finally finds out that the whole reason for the movie was to see his dad. And his dad was a catcher, and one of the great lines is, I believe it's, "Dad, you want to have a catch instead of play catch?" I think
Yeah.
it's have a catch.
Hmm.
And for me, a lot of people talk about how that meant to them growing up, being able to play catch with their dad. And for me, I don't know that feeling because I did not have a dad growing up. So to me, it means more now because I have a son and trying to get out and play catch with him. And someday I'll sit down with them and have them watch the movie with me. So,
That'd be good.
but
Yeah.
yeah, but a lot of people talk about how that movie, just that last scene where he sees his dad and you know,
I think that was probably the most iconic, scene of a baseball movie. I mean, there's probably others, but a
well,
lot
yeah,
of
well,
people probably.
there's another one, in another movie we'll cover here in a second,
Hmm.
but what? How was that? I mean, and that and then all of a sudden, because the kid they picked up on the road hitchhiking brought him back to Iowa, and
Hmm.
he's playing and he crosses over because the daughter is choking on a hot dog, I think it was,
Oh
and all
no.
of a sudden, like magically now everybody can see the ball players and stuff, and I think it was Cosner's brother-in-law who's like, "Where do all these people come from?" And it's like, "Oh my God, you can't tear this down," and so. But yeah, that was Thursday. They did the Field of Dreams game. Do you think they should keep this going, or do you think? And this is a
Mm.
topic we can cover on Tuesday too, but
Yeah. Yeah.
or is there a like Sandlot. Do you think they should build a Sandlot field and have a Sandlot game, or
I think
what
they
do you
should
think?
do like. I mean, a lot of teams do like theme nights where they'll have like Star Wars night or
Yep.
whatever night. I think MLB should have like a game like a baseball movie theme night.
Oh,
Where
okay.
like what they did. Create a Field of Dreams setting, or like you said, do a Sandlot thing. They should do
Okay.
something
Yeah.
like that. Maybe it'll get kids, to watch those kinds of movies. Maybe be inspired or something. Because they're trying to
Yeah.
get more younger fans to it.
Yeah. And Randy makes a good point here. Field of Dreams games should be played rarely, and I do
Yeah,
agree. It's a special thing, but could
well,
they
that's what I
incorporate
mean.
this? Could they incorporate the Sandlot into a regular or a rare game? Bring back Emmett's Field, I think it was for the Dodgers back when they played in Brooklyn. I could get the name wrong. Some of those old classics. I mean, could they rebuild them and put them in their locations? And could we see that? Speaking of
Maybe
Brooklyn Dodgers, oh, go ahead, Chris. Go ahead.
no, I was gonna say you could do it like in 5 years, another Field of Dreams game or something.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think the rarity is going to be good. I think definitely they need to do it like every few years. And like I said, unless they incorporate another movie themed ballpark.
Yeah.
But speaking of the Brooklyn Dodgers, 42, the Jackie Robinson story. The guy who many could believe broke the color barrier. I know there's been a lot of disputes over that over the past years. There was an iconic scene in there where the second baseman, I think, goes over to Robinson and goes, "Jackie, this is what baseball's about," or something like that. I can't remember the line, but they're both sitting over at first base, like have their shoulder on each other or around each other, and he says that. But have you seen 42?
I've heard about it.
Okay,
You know,
yeah, it's,
and,
it's
and
another classic. And then you got Tom Selleck in Mr. Baseball. That's what it is, Mr. Baseball, where he goes overseas to kind of rejuvenates his career. And of course, Randy, we know you haven't seen 42. You're still watching cartoons and stuff. I mean, I get it. But Mr. Baseball, he goes over to Japan and gets traded and tries to rejuvenate his career, and then finally end of the season, and he moves back to the States and becomes a hitting coach with the Tigers, I believe. And then you got Bernie Mac in Mr. 3000 when he was playing with the Brewers. Got 3,000 hits, but they went back in the record books and found out that 3 of his hits, I think it was, didn't count because it was a doubleheader or it was a postponement, and the record books counted them twice, so it was 3,000 short. So
Oh, wow.
it was after a 5-10 year away from baseball, so he had to get back into shape, and finally got his 3,000 hit, and he was the bad boy of the Brewers. Didn't care about the media, cared about himself. After he got his original 3,000 hit, he quit right in the middle of the game, and all that stuff. Bad News Bears. I mean,
yeah.
Typical Little League story. You got one team that boots the ball around all over the place and might have a guy or two that's pretty good. I like the originals. I didn't mind the remake of Billy Bob Thornton's movie, but it kind of
Ruined it.
I don't know. Yeah. And then, like I said, the Major League trilogies. Major League 2 was pretty funny. I actually enjoyed Major League 3 back in the minors, not because it focused on my Minnesota Twins and their AAA ball club. I don't know. I just thought it had some funny lines, and so
Yeah,
let's
it was a
see.
good movie. It's kind of
Yeah.
fitting because
Yeah.
Little League just started up not long ago.
Yeah, Little League World Series started up, so I mean, there's a lot to talk about this week in sports related or movies in general. But I know Trouble with the Curve. Justin Timberlake and God, I know the main actor there. But anyways, Trouble with the Curve is a movie where it's the scouts for the Braves, I think it is, and they're scouting this big top-rated ball player, and the Braves have the number one pick, and they're trying to scout him and watch him, and they send Clint Eastwood. That's who it is. Yeah, is it Clint Eastwood?
I think so.
Yeah,
I know he's in a lot of baseball movies.
yeah. I think he's the head scout, and so they send him out, and they're trying to get him, and he's telling them no, and one of the young scouts is like, no, this is a can't miss player and all this, and they finally draft him. Or actually, Boston has the number one pick. That's right. And Boston passes on him, so the Braves draft this guy because Timberlake is the scout for the Boston team.
Oh,
Yes, Clint Eastwood. You're right, Randy. You're 1 for 1 today. Good job. And so Boston passes on him, and the Braves jump on him. Well, they bring him into their little batting practice, and he's hitting the ball, like they said. So they're all high-fiving and jumping around. But then Clint Eastwood's daughter was at the trial or the helping her father scout, and at the hotel she found this picture. It's Peanut Boy as the big slugger
yeah.
nicknames him, and she's like brings him in for the same like batting practice, and the owner's like, what? And so he's pitching undrafted, and he's striking out this big slugger that's the number one pick on curveballs. The guy can't hit a curveball, so that's the tale of the movie there. And so I mean, there's some pretty good baseball movies out there. I know, like I said, I'm probably forgetting one. Bull Durham, like I said, Bull Durham, another Kevin Costner movie. He plays a catcher in the minor league system, bounces around and tries to help. Can't think the pitcher's name, but he calls him Meat. The guy that just has a wicked fastball. And there's a scene in there where he's pitching just a gem of a game, and he's shaking off Costner. Costner's like, okay, throw your fastball. And he actually tells the batter that a fastball's coming, and the batter just crushes it. So Costner goes out there, and the pitcher's like, man, it's like he knew it was coming. And Costner laughs, and he's like, he did. I told him when it was coming. So, little baseball movies there. Again, I know so many baseball movies. Moneyball, you mentioned Moneyball.
Yeah.
What did you like about Moneyball?
Moneyball was good. I like the behind the scenes, stuff of like, teams making deals or just, and we'll get to it maybe in the football section too.
Yeah.
But the inner workings of a sports team and how like the daily operations work. I kind of like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that did intrigue me in Moneyball, and the analytics and trying to make a trade. And I know it was the Oakland A's. Billy Beane as the character was in, I think it was Cleveland. I think trying to make a trade. He's like, well, how about this guy? And the owner the GM looks over at the analytics guy and shakes his head no, and then finally after that meeting breaks up, he goes and finds this analytics guy and pretty much hires him or trades for him, I guess. I don't know how it really came about, but come over to Oakland, and that's really how today's baseball started, was this Moneyball, where the
analytics and all that.
Yeah, the analytics and stuff, all at Moneyball. So halfway through, I'm going to pull up Bleacher Report's top 25 movies. $1 Million Arm, another good one, Randy. Honestly, I ain't gonna lie, I don't think I've seen that.
I don't think I have either.
If I recall, though, it's another Clint Eastwood movie, I believe. But Randy, if you give me more information on that, a little bit of background, if you've seen it, I've heard of the movie. For some reason I haven't seen it. I don't know if it's the actors in there or something. So this is Bleacher Report's top 25. I'll only break down 10 top 10 baseball movies. And looking over the list earlier, I kind of agreed with most of them. Bull Durham, number one. The original Bad News Bears in 1976, number two. Field of Dreams, number three. Moneyball, number four.
Hmm.
The Natural, 1984 movie, is number five. Major League, number six. Ball Player. I'm not going to pronounce the rest of the title because I don't want to butcher it, but that was a 2011 movie, ranked number seven. A League of Their Own. Forgot about that one. We'll have to talk about that one quick here. That was number
Yeah.
8. I don't know how I forgot about League of Their Own. Sandlot, number 9. And then 42, the Jackie Robinson story, number 10. So League of Their Own. War movie. They still wanted baseball, so they brought in the women to play professional baseball. I thought it was actually a pretty decent movie. I mean, it shows that women can do it. Dottie Hendricks was like the cover story of that league. She only played 1 year, based on a true story. I do believe they have their own Hall of Fame now in Cooperstown.
They do.
Chris, have you seen the movie?
What movie? Sure.
League of Their Own.
I probably have. It's been a while.
Okay, yeah. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. I know, Coast to Coast does a lot of women's sports, and, A League of Their Own is another movie that we talk about quite a bit.
We do.
Tom Hanks is the coach, and, they just break down what it was like wartime, trying to pass the time, and women to get out and play baseball. And so pretty much that's the gist of the movie. So Randy chimes in with the $1 Million Arm.
Yeah.
John Hammond and Bill Paxton is in the movie. $1 Million Arm is based on a true story, baseball story. Pitcher Sid and okay, I will have to check that out, Randy. Thank you. Tim Hendricks chimes in with 2 Major League. Yep, Major League. We've already talked about. A lot of great lines in that, and I know if one of our cohorts, J-Mac, was on here, he'd probably be listing them off left and right. And then
Jim also was saying, League. Yeah, I think you're mentioning it. Sorry.
Yep, League of Their Own, another great movie. So with that being said, anything else you want to cover on baseball movies or?
I think we covered it. I think the list was good. Maybe you move stuff around, but
yeah, and that's the
titles.
Thing go ahead.
The titles are spot on, but
yeah, I think like I said, I think with sports movies, the genre baseball, football, I think we're all going to have the same few movies. There might be 1 or 2 different ones. The order would definitely be different. Unlike action movies and drama movies and comedies where there's so much out there and one person's going to have a different vibe than the other guy. So
sports movies are like a rarity. So
yeah, you can good comparison. So moving on, as we all know, the greatest time in a lot of people's lives, some consider it Christmas. Opening preseason this week, which is kind of like Christmas Eve, I guess, to some people, but September 9th, I think, is the actual official kickoff for the NFL season. So we are going to start talking NFL or football movies.
Yeah.
So we'll start off, there's some that, come to mind. Rudy. Remember the Titans, the original Longest Yard, Replacements. I'm trying to think of off the top of my head here, but
We Are Marshall.
Yeah, We Are Marshall. Tim Hendricks. Preseason's like kissing your cousin. Well, okay. Yeah, The Greater. Little Giants, Friday Night Lights, the game plan, the program. I was just gonna say that
Never
one,
seen
Tim.
that one.
Oh my God, that's yeah, we'll talk about that one. But gonna talk about another Kevin Costner movie that I enjoyed. Draft Day.
Draft Day was
Be-
good.
Behind the scenes stuff. Granted, do I think the trades are like that? Is it really that intense? No.
No.
But I tell you what, if I can get a GM that could trade some picks and get them back and give me 3 first-round picks every year, and then I get a head coach like Jimmy Johnson that could fleece a team and for one guy and get 11 guys, I'm hiring them all day long. So, Chris, what did you think about Draft Day?
I like Draft Day. Like we were saying earlier, the inner workings of a professional organization in sports, getting an insight of what, not necessarily like you said, the trades, but like the process of scouting, finding
Yeah.
that player you want so badly, how you would, get that player on your team. It's kind of interesting.
Okay. So we got some comments coming in faster than I could even read them.
Yeah,
Let's see
I
if I
forgot
can
that.
start up here at the top here. So cover program. Randy Cox said The Blind Side. Yep, we're getting to it.
Yeah.
Blind Side's a good one. Any Given Sunday, I enjoyed that one.
Radio. I forgot about
Radio,
that.
yep. Jerry Maguire is another good one. Varsity Blues is a good one. The
Now,
fifth quarter. I'm not
Yeah.
familiar with that fifth quarter one. I'll have to look it up, Tim.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if,
Waterboy.
but I don't know if it's something to do with your. Oh, actually, you're a Carolina Panther fan, so it might be how many quarters it takes for the Carolina to win a game. I don't know.
Oh.
So Waterboy, yeah, Waterboy's a
But
funny
which version?
movie. So,
Which version though? Didn't they make it 2 of them? Didn't
uh,
they do, or was it
oh.
just one?
It was just one Waterboy, I believe. The Little Giants, where it's a pee-wee football, kind of like Bad News
Yeah.
Bears.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty cute and funny, but
The game plan with
the game plan with The Rock, yeah, that was a pretty good one. For The Rock, the guy can act. I don't care what anybody says. But let's break down some of those Waterboy. Let's talk about the Waterboy. Adam
Which
Sandler
one?
stars.
Oh, okay.
The Adam Sandler one.
Okay.
Stars in it, and plays linebacker, I think. He's technically the water boy, but then the coach of
jail.
the coach talks him into playing to kind of help his team out, and he just goes and just obliterates everybody just out of nowhere and helps a no-name school go to the championship game. So that's that one. Ace Ventura is not a football movie.
That's what I was laughing
God.
at. Okay, there's one football scene, well, maybe several.
Well, I
but
mean,
it wasn't
okay,
really a football movie.
No,
It was more of a detective show
Yeah,
that involved
it
football.
was based around.
The
I don't
dolphin.
know, viewers outside of
based-
Randy. Outside of Randy, do you guys consider Ace Ventura a football movie?
I say no.
Yeah, I say no too. So,
I like
Tim,
Ace Ventura,
Tim, anybody else? I mean,
I don't know.
yeah, it's hard. I don't know. I mean, there's some
Now-
good lines in there.
Now, one
But,
movie I didn't think about was Concussion. It had Will Smith in it, talking about the CTE and all that.
Oh, okay. No, I have not seen that one. I'll have to.
It was
There's another
good.
one. Okay.
It's more of
Learning
a
a lot today.
documentary kind of style,
Okay.
but it was good.
All right. So the program, it's a college football movie,
I haven't
and
seen
Tim,
yeah.
if Ace Ventura is a football movie, then Die Hard's a Christmas movie.
Okay. We'll probably get into this maybe around Christmas time, but
Yeah,
a lot of
we could
people think
definitely.
Die Hard is a Christmas movie, and I don't see why. But
Did it come out on Christmas, or is it based at Christmas time or
It's
something like
based in
that?
Christmas. I don't think it came out. I looked that
Okay,
up.
all right. So anyway, so back to the program. Program's a college movie. They show kind of a little bit of the recruiting process, but
Hmm.
the running back, the 5-star running back comes in and tries to take over the previous guy's spot, and kind of a little bickering, and then finally he does.
Yeah.
Um, but there was an iconic scene in that movie that got deleted because people were actually doing it. And if you YouTube it, it's where the players are laying in the middle of the street during traffic, and the traffic's driving back and forth. And people were really doing that in real life. And it's like, come on, guys. Do you guys really have to be that naive, I guess? So, speaking of a recruitment movie, and it just popped in my head, Johnny Be Bad, or Johnny Be Good, I think is actually the name of it. It's an
Huh.
old football movie, mid 80s, I believe. And it's a
Right.
high school football player that he can punt, he can kick, return punts, pretty much do it all. I mean, he's like the top superstar. And
If you
they're,
need a guy, if you need somebody, he's your guy.
yeah, exactly. So he's, won 4 straight division titles for his high school. He's a senior. He's got people recruiting at his games, his family. He goes away on some trips, comes back, and his ego has like growing like, huge, and he just thinks he's all that and trying to get the money. And uh, at the end of the movie, he decides kind of to rat out the schools that offers him money, and he ends up staying home to a tech school or something like that, or a homeschool college. So that's a pretty good. Johnny Be Good, I believe, is the title of it. Uh, I can't think of the actor's name in there, but I know I've seen him in other movies. So, speaking of list, Chris, your top 5 movie list or football list. Do you have it?
Remember the Titans,
Yep.
Draft Day, and Rudy.
Okay. So you
That
got
was a
3.
very hard thing to make up.
Yeah, I got Rudy. Remember the Titans, Waterboy. Draft Day is moving up there quite fond. The original Longest Yard. I like Gridiron Games. I see Randy just throwing out his list. Longest Yard, Gridiron Game, Blindside, Waterboy, Varsity Blues.
Yeah.
I can't argue that list. Gridiron Gangs, probably my 5th movie. Another movie where, if you guys haven't seen it, it's juveniles in a jail. Rock builds them, or Dwayne Johnson, we'll call him, because a lot of people don't know him as The Rock, wants to build a football team to bring everybody together, kind of teach them life and stuff. So they do a football team. They travel around, and they definitely good movie to watch. Based on a true story. Tim Hendricks, Longest Yard, Program, Rudy, Remember the Titans, and the Dallas Cowboys.
Dallas
North
40.
Dallas
North
40.
Dallas 40.
Okay.
I haven't seen that one. I've
I've
looked
not
that
seen
up.
that one either. So
Now,
we got some homework to do this week.
now for kids, I bet they probably remember like the Air Bud movies.
Yeah, Air Bud. Yep, Air Bud. Now, what about that? I mean, Air Bud. I mean,
I guess
a
it's
dog
a
that
football
can play
movie.
football. I think it started with a basketball movie. I could be wrong.
Yeah, he did basketball.
Okay,
He did
and then they tried to
football.
spin it off into.
Like he had kids. I don't know. But
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, cute
I
little
guess
movies.
after particular one you could.
Yeah,
But
yeah, and then you got Rudy,
mhm.
based on a true story about the Irish football team.
Yes.
Rudiger, walk on. His dream was always to be Notre Dame, and he was a small guy, and he finally got into the real game at the end of the movie. He played like 2-3 plays, I think it was. So
Yeah.
everybody's chanting his name to get him in there. Never missed a practice when he became an Irish player. The team actually boycotted their spot so he could play at least one game. The coach did not want him to play, so they tried to stop him from getting in. And finally, the coach finally was like, okay, whatever, get him in there. So one play, he was on the kickoff team, and then he got in for one play, sacked the quarterback. Funny story about that movie is they're showing Rudy's parents in the stands, and right next to his dad, I think his dad actually grabs him, was actually the real Rudiger
Oh
in
wow.
there. Yeah. Dave Devine, former Packer coach. Yeah, he took over and didn't want him to play, So of course they
Yeah.
were I think they're going for the title, so I mean I get the coach's idea, but some point you gotta let the kid play. They did, and that's a wrap on that. The Longest Yard. Have you seen either version of the Longest Yard, the original or the Adam Sandler version?
I saw the Adam Sandler one. And
Okay,
I
kind
like
of
that
both they're kind of both the same concept. A guy gets arrested. The guards are a semi-pro team, and they want to do a tune-up game against the prison people, and so of course Adam Sandler is the coach or quarterback of the team, gets the team together.
Michael Irvin's like the wide receiver.
Yeah, Michael Irvin's the receiver. Nelly's the running back. Adam Barber's favorite wrestler, Goldberg, he's a linebacker in that game or in that movie. Kevin Nash and Stone Cold Steve Austin are prison guards. Who
I
else
didn't
am I
know how
missing?
star-studded movie that was until
Yeah,
you
no
read off
kidding.
these names.
No kidding. It was it was a star-studded movie for sure. And
Chris
it ends
Rock
up
was
the
in
same. Who?
Chris Rock.
Yeah, Chris Rock was the caretaker. Yep. Burt Reynolds was in it. He was actually in the first one as a quarterback, and this one he was the coach per se. And then
Wow.
the final play, he gets in there
Mhm.
to help win the game. So both movies, honestly, I would say out of remakes, that The Longest Yard, both versions were pretty accurate to each other. I think they were pretty good. Oh
And
yeah, Randy, the
that's
Great
good
Khali,
when
Great Khali was in there as a fullback. Yeah,
I did not know that.
yeah, he was the big guy that was playing ping pong or table tennis.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
and
okay.
Adam Sandler was like a funny line. People said we kind of look similar, so I thought I had to come see it myself. And if you watch wrestling, Great Khali is like 7'2", and Adam
Yeah.
Sandler is like
Okay.
5'4". Yeah, so
Okay.
yeah, that
Yeah.
was before he started. There was another wrestler there, the big guy that I think he broke my nose. I can't think of his name though, but he was in that movie too. I want to say his last name Sapp, but I could be wrong.
Warren Sapp.
No, it wasn't Warren Sapp. It
Oh.
was a wrestler.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, there's that. I definitely enjoyed both versions of The Longest Yard. I don't know, you might have to check out the first one, Chris, and let us know how you see it.
Yeah.
So, Rolling Stones here has their top 10 football movies. So, Rudy, number 1. I could not disagree with that one at all. Friday Night Lights, I won't disagree with it. I haven't seen it fully. Brian's Song. So this is another one I have not seen. Anybody's got it? 1971. If anybody's seen it, let us know what it's like. The original Longest Yard and 4. At number 4, I could agree with that. Remember the Titans? Number 5, I think it should be higher up. I mean, it's a movie about bringing two races together, in a school trying to make a football team out of it. They do. They go undefeated. The
Which
great
movie was
line
that?
there is one of the great lines in there is when they're at practice and the quarterback comes. His dad brings his son in, and he's got like Randy type hair, long blonde dreads, and they call him Sunshine. And the team's walking off to the locker room, and Sunshine picks up a ball and just nails one of the linebackers that calls him Sunshine is just right in the back of the head, and they all just laugh. And good when they're all singing. Oh God, I can't think of the song now, but it's a classic song, and they're all singing in it. And Denzel Washington plays the coach in there, and
Ain't No Mountain High Enough.
yeah, ain't no mountain high enough. There you go.
That's Remember
Now
the
you're good.
Titans, I thought.
Yeah, remember the Titans. Yeah, that's what we're
Yeah.
talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So another classic. So that was number 5. Number 6, Any Given Sunday. Another good movie I enjoyed. I don't know. I'd say 6, maybe 7 on my list. A football team trying to decide on who their quarterback is and their identity. Another movie kind of like Major League where the owner's daughter gets control of the team and threatens to move them because they can build them a stadium somewhere. And
Right.
the coach, God dang, what is his name? Oh God, I want to say Joe Pesci, but it's not Joe Pesci. So anyway, he says he's going to stick with his quarterback, Willie Beeman, who is played by my brain is not working today. Willie Beeman is played by Jamie Foxx, and hot shot quarterback, and leads his team, and gets the music video. He's the freshest thing right now. And at the end of the movie, if I'm, Randy, turn off your internet for a second because you haven't seen the movie. The coach actually takes a job with the expansion team, and his first signing is they're going to sign Willie Beeman to be their franchise quarterback. So another good movie. I like it. So that was number 6 on Rolling Stones. Undrafted. It's a documentary movie. Looks at high school teams. I did not see this one. So anybody seen Undrafted? Let us know what you think.
I haven't. No.
Okay. Yeah. And that was number
I've
7.
seen Drafted.
We Are Marshals. Chris, you brought this one up before. We Are Marshals. I honestly have not seen this movie for
I
whatever
saw it
reason.
a long time ago.
Yeah, 2006. Do you remember? It's centered around the true story of a tragic plane crash, which I knew. I know the story.
Mm-hmm.
I took the lives of the 1970 Marshals football team. Another true story movie. I kind of liked them a little bit more.
Yeah.
Necessary Roughness. Forgot about this movie. And Chris, I'm surprised you forgot about it too because it's 2 Texas teams in the movie.
I think I've
Sinbad.
heard of it.
Yeah. Sinbad's the starting linebacker. What it is one team gets on probation. Their whole football team gets wiped out except for 10 guys, I think. So they're holding this camp. Hold on a second.
Mm-hmm.
They're holding these tryouts to fill their team. And one of the coaches goes to this farm and gets an old recruit, tries to talk him in. He's like, no, I got to put family business ahead of, well, they're at practice and the old guy comes out, the quarterback. And of course, yeah, he's the oldest guy. Quantum Leap actor. I can't think of his name though. And he's comes in and he plays quarterback, and the team is kind of like a Bad News Bears team. Can't catch the ball, can't run. They got these. One of the first games they play, they got these twins. I believe they're twins, brothers at least. One's playing defense, and he sets up into like this Karate Kid pose, and he does a judo kick, a chop. Of course, he gets flagged for it, and the ref is like pulls the flag. He goes, he's going through all the things, judo chop, this, that. He's like, forget it. Defense 10 yards, first down. So it's got some. And then they go and they recruit a woman soccer kicker to kick field goals. So you have the first woman kicker, and so now you gotta deal with that, and she's trying to figure out where to dress and stuff, and you got a big lineman that's protecting her so he can see it. Yes, Randy, you are correct. Scott Bakula. I'm not, that was the actor that played the quarterback. So the final scene, I should say final scene, but the rivalry game against the other Texas team, the big linebacker comes in and maybe it wasn't the final game. But anyways, comes in and knocks over the lady kicker. He's like, "Welcome to football." And she's like, "Welcome to foot," and just kicks him right there,
Right. Yeah.
So definitely a classic. I actually did forget about that, and I actually enjoyed watching that movie.
Sounds like a good movie.
Yeah. So check it out. And then number 10, Waterboy. We've already talked about it. Classic, funny movie. A lot of lines in there. So what did you think of that list? I thought it was okay. A couple movies I didn't see, but I know the background of them. So
that's a good list.
Yeah. The game plan, we talked about a little bit. Rock's in it. Dwayne Johnson plays a quarterback.
That was like one of his earlier movies.
Yeah.
He was still trying to figure all of it out. So.
Yeah, I thought he still did pretty good in it. Finds out that he has a daughter. Daughter kind of runs away to go meet him. Plays in the championship game that he, kind of like the old Steve Young story where he couldn't get to the championship game. Finally breaks that mold, gets to the championship game.
Yeah.
There was one line in there I remember. They're at the party Rock's throwing, and one of the guys is leaving early. He's like, "Oh, come on, stay a while." And he gives him a hug and he's patting him. Well, he grabs his wallet out and he opens it up and he's looking through it. The guy's like, "Come on, give me back my wallet." He's like, "Well, I'm kind of looking for your man card, but your wife must already have it or something." And then one of the players, the dumb guy, I guess we'll call him, he's like, "How do you get a man's card?" And so that's pretty good one. Blindside, Or Story. That was a really good one. Tim McGraw, who, if we all are music buffs, we know he's a singer. Played really good in there. Bobby, is it Bobby Orr? Is that the name, or not Bobby Orr? Orr is the last name, I believe.
Yeah, I can't think of his first name, but yeah. That's Michael a true story.
Michael Orr. Yes, it is a true story. Amazing movie. Sandra Bullock plays awesome in that. I don't know what else to say about it. The kid learns to play football, big guy. Best part, I like the one scene in there where they're playing and Orr is finally he was getting manhandled by this one defensive lineman. And the coach was about ready to pull him out. He's like, "Coach, I got you." Or the coach gets upset or something like that over a penalty.
Right.
So Orr grabs him. He's like, "Coach, I got you." So the next play, they call him, and all of a sudden you see Orr blocking this lineman all the way back to the end zone, and puts him over the fence. And the coach comes up and goes, "Bobby, what were you doing?" Or Michael, "What were you doing?" "Oh, I was sending him home, Coach. He had to go home." So that was like on his highlight reel when they were trying to recruit him into the college. It was great.
Nick Saban was actually in that movie.
What's that? Nick Saban, yes. Nick Saban was actually, a lot of those coaches were actually coaches in that movie. Real life coaches.
Right, yeah.
Invincible, another movie I kind of forgot about. Philadelphia Eagles.
I think I saw it.
Yeah, it's with it was Vince Pollier was the movie was based around. Mark Wahlberg played him. The movie was based on after a losing season, they fired the whole coaching staff. They had open tryouts, and Mark Wahlberg decided to, play it because him and his friends, his buddies, played football every Saturday or whatever. It was like a tradition. So he just went out there, kind of try it, and he actually got the call to stick around. And he went through training camp and stuff, and they were doing the story on him, and the football team didn't like him, and they're like, "You ain't making it, might as well just give up now." Well, the coach pulls him in, and of course he brings his playbook, and he's like, "Well, thanks for the tryout. Thanks for letting me live my dream." Pretty much, pushes the playbook to the coach. The coach is like, pushes back and goes, "You might need this for the next 16 weeks." So he makes the team, and just everybody's just dumbfounded. And then one of the final scenes, he makes the miraculous play, fumbles the ball. I believe picks it up, and I believe he scores the winning touchdown. So
didn't that happen in real life though? Like
that was a true story.
Yeah.
I believe it was a true story. Let me see if I can find out.
Because it sounds like that Herm Edwards play when the Giants faced the Eagles, and Miracle at the Meadowlands, I think it was.
I believe it was based on a true story back in the 70s, early 80s, I believe.
Yeah.
Let's see if there's any other ones here that kind of missed. I mean, Little Giants we talked about a little bit.
Right.
Pee Wee football team make two teams in one city, two brothers coaching them, and then finally the Giants beats the Cowboys, which Cowboy fans are used to get beat, so that should be nothing new to them.
Sadly, we are.
So then at the end of the movie, they decide to form one team. Who is Kevin O'Shea's the superstar brother, played by Ed O'Neill, which we all know played in Married with Children, who ironically was a high school running back, for his school in the movie or the TV show Married with Children. So probably the best running back ever, scored 4 touchdowns in one game, blah, blah, blah. We know that story. So,
right.
Yeah. So, I mean, Jerry Maguire, I know somebody brought it up earlier. I kind of liked it for the fact it was a, kind of like the agent side of it, trying to get his players signed and, show me the money, was the big line in that movie.
Right.
So did you see Jerry Maguire?
I've seen a little bit. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I remember the show me the money.
Yep.
That became very
great movie. So out of the movies we talked about, or sports movies in general, do you like sorry about that, more of the realistic sports movies, or do you like the more fantasy ones, like the little kid takes over the college or the pro team, or the rookie of the year where the kid throws the ball, he becomes the youngest pitcher?
I like the realistic movies.
Okay.
The ones that are, true story or somewhat true.
Yeah.
I like those kinds of movies because it has more, I guess, feeling to it.
Yeah. No, I definitely do like the more realistic movies. I mean, Major League was funny. It was realistic. I mean,
yeah.
But definitely The Blind Side, Remember the Titans, Rudy, more of the true story ones are good. And not to say that the fictional ones where, you got the kid playing baseball, you got the kid coaching and owning a major league team. Doesn't mean they weren't good. I mean, there were some funny lines in there and, funny stuff in those movies too. But so coming up on that hour mark, Chris, we made it. I was kind of wondering if we would get through an hour. If not, I thought maybe we might go over. But thanks to the viewers, Chris, go ahead and your closing remarks.
Thank you guys for watching, tuning in. We had a good crowd tonight. Make sure to tune in for Sports Minute tonight. And also tomorrow morning, we have the morning tailgate around 10 o'clock Central. And then we have later that evening, around 11 o'clock Central, we have Between the Ropes, covering all things Raw, SmackDown. And just make sure to tune in to Coast, where we have a lot of shows every day. So make sure to tune in to Coast.
Yes, exactly. Tune in. Thanks, everybody. Randy, I know you couldn't be with us today, but I'm glad you chimed in. The show was better without. I'm sorry. The show was not the same without you. Tim Hendricks, thanks for chiming in. Mama Barber, I know you chimed in a couple times. Thank you. Like Tim, thank you again for chiming in. But yeah, like Chris said, Sports Minute tonight. Are we replaying this for the people that missed
Yes,
it?
yeah, we are
Okay.
replaying it tonight around 8 o'clock, which was our normal spot, but
Yep.
we're going to replay
And then tomorrow morning, it'll be me and Chris, and I think we might have another host for morning tailgate. Get all your football action. We'll break down as much as we can of the preseason games. Not many superstars are playing, so
we
we'll
might
see.
just cover the main guys like quarterbacks and maybe
whoever
else we want to bring up.
Yeah, we'll break down some stuff, and then, of course, Between the Ropes, like Chris said, we'll talk about Raw, SmackDown, and we will do. We're doing a little twist now, or different, with our fantasy bookings. We will be posting them, I believe, on our Facebook page, so you guys can read them.
Mm-hmm.
Because just in case we could run a little long like we did last week, we want to get those in. I know you guys, like fantasy stuff, and I know I had a good fantasy pay-per-view card that I definitely am going to share. So, but like Chris said, and thanks, Chris, again for doing all your hard work. Join us all week. I don't think there's a day that we don't have a show on. We got stuff for everybody. Sports, life, and everything in between, I think, is one of our mottos here. So for that being said, I'm Big B. That's Crispy Bacon. On Sunny days, he'll be extra crispy.
There you go.
So with that being said, we'll check you all next week on Saturday Movie Hour. Have a good day.